In Helldivers 2, the absolute strongest element we know of is fire, as long as you're the host. When it works, lighting everything on fire is one of the most powerful and fun things you can do. But just to be clear, arson is a crime.
Ready? What do you like to do?
I don't know. Burn stuff?
That said, sometimes pyromaniacs make the best soldiers.
Need a light? Let's burn. Are you trying to get invited to my next barbecue? I love the smell of napalm. Got any questions about propane? Or propane accessories?
Fire damage in this game has been hard to pin down. We started getting clips for this build even before the Marine video and then just held off on it to see where things would land. We've had bugs from the beginning, massive buffs, ship upgrades, and just lots of changes in regards to fire over the past few weeks. As of the making of this video, fire damage over time is still bugged, but Arrowhead has stated that the next patch is gonna fix it. Fingers crossed. The builds we found to be the most effective and true to the character rely pretty heavily on damage over time effects, but bugs be damned, setting shit on fire is fun and the Firebat is really good at it. Here's the build we've settled on for now. Initially, we really liked the Trench Engineer armor. The color alone would be reason enough, but it also has the Engineering Kit passive which gives you more grenades, and because we're taking Incendiary Grenades, that means more fire. More fire, more better. We also found that the Groundbreaker armor from the Democratic Detonation Warbond with the same passive and the gas mask was pretty cool too. But Andrew, what about the Thermite Grenades? They're fire too! Yeah, but they suck right now. Maybe they'll fix them eventually, but at the moment it is an inferior inferno. They also just announced a Fire Impact Grenade, so that will be an option too if you're watching this in the future. For the Firebat's primary, we obviously take the Incendiary Breaker. It's so good against hordes of bugs in spite of the damage over time wonkiness, which is perfect for the Terran versus Zerg fantasy. You can just fire a couple of shots into a big group and then let them burn as you run around objectives.
Don't shoot him! Let him burn!
It's extremely ammo efficient and actually fulfills a very different role than our support weapon. But first, what should we do for our secondary?
Do whatever you want.
Big iron it is then. The key stratagem we're taking is the Flamethrower to simulate the Firebat's dual perdition flamethrowers. Kinda makes me wish you could dual wield these, but maybe a bigger, badder flamethrower will come later on. The Flamethrower is really fantastic at both setting groups on fire as well as nullifying larger targets like Chargers and Brood Commanders. Just aim for the legs, as that still seems to be the best way to take them down, even if Arrowhead thinks otherwise. Bear in mind here too that the direct damage from the Flamethrower is working just fine, even if the damage over time isn't. Next we'll take Napalm that can drop from our Banshee, and we'll also go with Incendiary Mines because fire. But also, when are we getting a Vulture or a motorcycle? That could be fun. But before you go nuts with mines, we should talk about using them because building for fire is extremely prone to team killing, and fire mines are just a double dose of potential friendly fire. Here are a few tips. Number 1, don't cut off your own escape routes. The mines are great area denial, but they deny that area for everyone, so make sure you're not cutting yourself off by mistake. Be sure to let your team know where they're going down. 2, don't drop them on top of bug breaches, but rather throw the mines in front of them. The mines spread out in a big circle, and to get the most out of them, you'll want to have the outer edge of that circle intersect the breach rather than doing a circle around it. 3. Use the mines to cover your retreats. If you're running away, throw them at your feet or just in front of you, and the bugs will chase you through them. This has the added bonus of not killing your team because the mines are behind you. 4. Remember that bugs are attracted to the mine disperser for whatever reason. So if a patrol comes close to them, they'll wander in to attack the dispenser. If you're at an objective for a while, like at a siege turret, use this to your advantage to angle patrols away from you rather than putting mines close to where you're working. 5. At bug hives, you can throw the mines off to the side, start a fight, and then run behind the mines to lead the bugs into them. Do not throw mines into a bug hive. because that's where your team will eventually want to move through to close bug holes. Isn't it kind of funny how bug holes sounds like buttholes? For those of you keeping score at home, you'll know that we still have one open stratagem slot which we can use to cover this build's glaring weakness. The one thing this build struggles with is Bile Titans. You can technically take them down with the Flamethrower and Napalm Strike, but we do have a battle cruiser in orbit, and if you've got Yamato Cannon research, then you should absolutely take Rail Strike. Now this used to one-shot Bile Titans, but it doesn't seem to do that very consistently anymore, but it should be enough to help your team wipe them out. If you don't yet have the Rail Cannon unlocked, then the Precision Strike is almost just as good. In fact, I usually prefer it because the cooldown is so much lower and it seems to hit way harder. So, is this build any good? Hell yeah it is! It's potentially much stronger than the Marine build because Arrowhead keeps buffing fire, and when the DOT actually works, you're doing tons of damage, denying massive areas, and racking up enormous kill combos. Heck, you can even deal with flying units like the Mutalisks with your shotgun, which is something the StarCraft Firebat cannot do because shooting up is hard. Against bots, it's pretty bad, because this is about as close as you get to a melee build in this game, which is just not great where you want to be fighting at range behind cover. I am curious to see how it'll fare against the Protoss though. Rumor has it that shields don't do super well against fire, but we will see. If you've enjoyed this video, wait until you see our Ghost build, which will take us 3/4 of the way to an entire Terran team. Let us know in the comments if you want to see a video of a 4-man Terran loadout, and subscribe or burn!
Actually, and several, dozens of people spontaneously combust each year.